Hello everyone, this will be the first video I create on this channel, and so I want to thank everyone for watching, and if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up so I can reach more people, and if you don't like the video, please comment and how I can improve. Anyways, this video, I will be going over the Most Holy Rosary and what it is, its history, and what the saints thought about it. I will not be going over how to pray the Rosary, although there are some very good videos on YouTube that go over that. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, what is the Rosary? The Rosary is a set of beads that are used to meditate the life of Christ. The different portions of his life are called the mysteries, and the mysteries are the sorrowful, which go over his passion, the glorious, which go over his resurrection, the joyful, which go over the Annunciation, his birth, and finally the luminous, which go over some of his miracles. The Rosary as a prayer tool has been very useful and important in the Church's history, and so I would like to touch on that aspect as well. There was always a need to keep count of prayers, even back in the time of the apostles. Some methods were using rocks or using knots in a rope. The prayers commonly said were the 150 psalms, which in the modern church setting would be called a psalter. Another means of prayer, commonly seen as the predecessor of the rosary, was the prayer rope, which was used praying the Jesus prayer. Later on, the Pater Noster would commonly be prayed 150 times, which is the Our Father. And it wasn't until St. Alvary that the Hail Mary began to be used as a primary prayer. Finally, in 1214, the Rosary would be received by the Church as said in the Secrets of the Rosary by St. Louis de Montfort as a means to convert sinners. I will now read an excerpt from this book about how St. Dominic would receive the Rosary. This is from page 5 to 7. St. Dominic, seeing that the gravity of people's sins was hindering the conversion of the Albigensians, withdrew into a forest near Toulouse, where he prayed unceasingly for 3 days and 3 nights. During this time, he did nothing but weep and do harsh penances, in order to appease the anger of the Almighty God. He used his discipline so much that his body was lacerated, and finally fell into a coma. At this point, Our Lady appeared to him, accompanied by 3 angels, and she said, "Dear Dominic, do you know which weapon the Blessed Trinity wants to use to reform the world?" "Oh, my Lady," answered St. Dominic, "you know far better than I do, because next to your Son Jesus Christ, you have always been the chief instrument of our salvation." Then Our Lady replied, "I want you to know that in this kind of warfare, the battering ram has always been the angelic psalter, which is the foundation stone of the New Testament. Therefore, if you want to reach these hardened souls and win them over to God, preach my psalter." So he arose comforted and burning with zeal for the conversion of people in that district. He made straight for the cathedral. At once unseen angels rang the bells to gather the people together, and St. Dominic began to preach. At the very beginning of his sermon, an appalling storm broke out. The earth shook, the sun was darkened, and there was so much thunder and lightning that all were very much afraid. Even greater was their fear when, looking at the picture of Our Lady, exposed in a prominent place, they saw her raise her arms to the heaven 3 times to call down God's vengeance upon them if they failed to be converted, amend their lives, and seek the protection of the Holy Mother of God. God wished by the means of their supernatural phenomena to spread the new devotion of the Holy Rosary and to make it more widely known. At last, the prayer of St. Dominic, the storm came to an end, and he went on to preaching. So fervently and compelling did he explain the importance and value of the Holy Rosary that almost all the people of Toulouse embraced it and renounced their false beliefs. In a very short time, a great improvement was seen in the town. People began leading Christian lives and gave up their former bad habits. This excerpt exposes to the faithful just how important the Rosary is, which is the Psalter. The Rosary's first name actually was Our Lady's Psalter. So even today, the Psalter continues to have an important role in spiritual warfare and evangelization. Apart from this, there is also the Battle of Lepanto, which played a crucial role in spreading the popularity of the Rosary. The battle would take place in 1571, and the outnumbered Christian navy would face the Ottoman navy. Pope Pius V would ask the Christian faithful to put their trust in Our Lady and pray the Rosary for victory. The Christians would win the battle, and their victory was attributed to the intercession of the Virgin Mary. And as a result, October 7th was made the feast day of Our Lady of Victory by Pope Pius. It would later be changed to the feast day of Our Lady of the Rosary by Pope Gregory VIII. The last miraculous instance of the Rosary is at Fatima, When accompanied by other messengers, the Virgin Mary told the shepherd children to pray the Rosary for the world peace and the conversion of sinners. The rich history of the Rosary is important, but what do the saints have to say about it? Many of the saints were adamant that the Rosary was an amazing tool in helping the faithful grow in their love for God. And so I've compiled 3 quotes from different saints about the Rosary's effectiveness and importance. St. Maximilian Kolbe says, "The Rosary is a powerful weapon in our hands. It not only strengthens us in our personal struggles, but also calls down heavenly help for the whole world. Each bead is a step towards the heart of Jesus through the heart of Mary. Never be ashamed to carry your rosary or to pray it wherever you are, for through it you hold the key to countless graces and the sure protection of the Immaculata, who crushes the head of the serpent." This echoes the message of Mary to Saint Dominic and amplifies the importance of the rosary in strengthening us. Saint Francis de Sales says, "The greatest method of praying is to pray the rosary. It is a method filled with holy simplicity, yet profound power. It focuses our mind on the mysteries of salvation and places our heart in the hands of Mary, who shapes it gently in the likeness of her Son. Every Hail Mary is a gentle knock at the door of heaven, where the Blessed Mother herself answers, ready to shower us with graces. Those who persevere in this devotion will find themselves guided, protected, and consoled at every step of their earthly journey." This also shares the message that praying the rosary will lead you to grow closer to Christ. And finally, Mother Teresa says, "Cling to the rosary as the creeper clings to the tree. For without Our Lady we cannot stand. The family that prays together stays together. And if you want peace in your heart and in your home, pray the rosary every day. Our Lady has never refused me anything I have asked through the rosary. She is our tender mother, eager to grant all we need, if only we will come to her with trust and love." Mother Teresa's message in this quote was to make known how much the rosary can help the unity of the church, and even in our own lives, whether it be with friends or family. If not anything else, these quotes show how the saints viewed the importance of the rosary in leading the faithful closer to Christ. Finally, I would like to talk about the promises of the rosary made by the Holy Virgin Mary herself. There are 15 promises, although I will not be going over all of them in this video. I'll just talk about 3. If you would like to see another video of me explaining all 15, please comment and I will do so. Anyways, the first promise I'll be going over is the promise of protection by Mary. And this is evident in how the rosary is used as a tool in spiritual warfare. The second is the resuscitation of the rosary will cause good works and virtue to flourish. I can see the evidence of this in my own life, and I've heard the testimony of many others that claim the same thing, that praying the rosary increases virtue. And lastly, the deliverance from purgatory, and this is because the rosary can cause a person to remain in a state of grace. And I want to close out this section by reminding everyone that it is not the rosary in itself that saves, but it is Jesus' sacrifice that brings to salvation. The rosary is just a means to help us grow closer to God. To sum it up, the rosary is a very powerful tool to grow closer to Christ and to become more Christ-like. That marks the end of this video. And again, I would ask, if you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up button so my content can reach more people. And comment below if you have any questions or helpful comments. Thank you for watching, and God bless.